Okay, it turns out that my boat is a little bit unstable when it comes to waves. As you can see, we are flopping about like a fish out of water. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and fill this thing up with diesel, and then we're gonna go ahead and make our way back to our base. Something that I do think we should do is maybe extend the back end, try and add another fuel tank or another cargo tank on the back, and then go from there. So that might be what we end up doing today. Anyway, hopefully we can reverse out of here once we're full and get home safe. You know, I don't actually know how much we can actually have in here, so we're up to 22,000 liters. That seems pretty good, to be honest. We are losing a lot of money doing this, though. You know what, actually? Maybe we don't even need... Yeah, we don't even need that much more, so let's just go ahead and get back inside. We're gonna go upstairs, and we're gonna get out of here. Yeah, we're already at the point where we need to leave. Also, I really need to add lights to this thing. Alright, you can't see it very well, but we are reversing out of here. Let's do it from the front so you can see at least a little bit. There we go. And all we have to do is drive home. I actually kind of like the fact this isn't balanced. It seems to actually work really nicely, considering. Also, in case you guys didn't know, this is actually the boat that we built last time. So if you didn't see me build this thing, maybe go back and check out how it was built, because... to be honest, I didn't really like it to begin with, but I think it's growing on me. You know, I'm actually thinking maybe we don't need to extend this. Maybe it doesn't actually need to be bigger at all, because realistically, we're not going to need that much fuel. Yeah, we could actually try and build a train today and travel up north as well. Oh, so many things that we can do. Well, we made it back, and we made it back with, well, we have 34,000 liters of fuel. So this is, that's actually turned out very, very nicely. What I'm going to do now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to start working on that boat a little bit more. I don't want to leave it in, like, limbo where it's not really finished. I do want to, you know, build onto it a little bit more. So we're going to have to add lights into this thing. We're going to have to add bilge pumps into this thing. Actual pumps on the deck that pump out the fuel and stuff. There's a lot to do still. Okay, so I've gone ahead and added lights all the way around the outside of the deck. I do want some lights in here as well, so I'm just going to go ahead and put one there. I'm going to put one here, and that should be pretty nice. I also want to make sure that this isn't painted, because... well, I feel like it looks weird painted like that, so we're just going to go ahead and paint these guys really quickly all the way around. Yes, including all of this. There we go. Alright, that works, I think. Okay, nav light time, I think, is next. We're just going to go ahead and chuck those guys right there. And I guess for the rear nav light, we're actually just going to go ahead and shove it right here. Realistically, we probably want it in the same color as everything else there, so that's good. Okay. Right, so we got spotlights on the front, we have nav lights here, we have nav light on the back. I do think spotlights all around might actually work quite nicely. So maybe some tiny spotlights right there, and I guess we could actually add a spotlight back here somewhere. But I feel like that's kind of weird, isn't it? That's a little bit strange. Okay, right, so we got lights all around this thing now. We've got lights on the inside of here, we've got lights on the inside of here, we got lights on the inside of here. They're everywhere. I think what I'm going to do is just put some buttons upstairs, and these buttons are essentially going to control everything. I don't want to have different buttons in different rooms. If we got interior lights, they're going to be turned on from up here. If we got exterior lights, they're going to be turned on from up here as well. And that's all going to be fine. So, let's start with front spotlights. There we go. Next to that, we're going to have other spotlights. There we go. Excellent. Down from there, we're going to have nav lights. Across from that, we're going to have interior lights, and I think that's actually all of them, isn't it? That's pretty much everything we need. So that's going to go there and there. We're going to go ahead and connect it to here and here, as well as here and here. If we go downstairs from there, I believe it's this one, and then there should be 4 more, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Did I do deck lights? I don't think I did deck lights, did I? No. So deck lights. I guess we could do like rear deck lights and front deck lights. I don't see a point in that, but but we're gonna do it anyway. All right, cool. So front deck lights, we need to go ahead and connect this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means we've got 10 at the front. 1, 2, 3. I don't know why I've got 2 next to each other right there, but that's fine. And there we go. Alright, so that's front one's done. We're now going to go to the rear and do all of these. There's a lot to do. These lights, that's crazy. I'm glad I don't put too many on because, like, it would be insane. I do want to see what this looks like on a night as well, so we'll see in the end. Anyway, interior lights are done. Nav lights, 1, 2, and 3. Excellent. We then need to do other spotlights, which is this guy, and that guy. We then need to do the front spotlights, which is this one and this one. Okay, that's all of them done, I think. Alright, let's have a little look around then. So, the lights out here should be on. They are not. Okay, starting off really badly. I don't think I've actually connected those to a button, so yeah, I didn't attach them to the deck lights because I wasn't sure whether they'd be on the front ones or the rear ones. Doesn't really matter. I think I'll actually put them on interior, which is strange. Anyway, down here we've got 2 more on this side, 2 more on that side. If we go out the front, we got these guys. We've also got those guys. I want some stairs up there. That'd be pretty good. If we go backwards, we've obviously got all of these. We have that spotlight going backwards. We have the nav light right there. We got the other nav light, the other spotlight, the other nav light, the other spotlight. And overall, I actually don't mind this ship at all. It's looking pretty good. The main spotlights are on as well. Yeah, I mean, this will sail now. Quite nicely, too. Look at her go. Ooh. Oh, we also have this down here. I almost forgot. Yeah, this room is fine as well. So the engines are just there. Beautiful. Okay, next thing that we need to work on then is this guy. So I'm going to go ahead and try and sort this out. I was initially just going to go ahead and plug these in like this. Realistically, actually, I guess that does work. So these ones are in, so it actually pumps through here into the tank, and then the other side is going to be out, and it obviously pumps outwards, which is fine. So connect this one as well. We're going to go ahead and get this one on here too, and it would be nice to have that one there as well. Although, I am just going to go ahead and get rid of the middle section. That's fine. Yeah, that's okay to do. Bosh. Okay. What we're then going to do is obviously connect all the pipes to these, connect them all to the bottom, and that will be a-okay. I'm going to go and fill this in as well, and that'll be fine. Alright, this is the point where I'm actually going to test this thing out. Also, I did a little bit of work inside of here, because I wanted a bed. I actually wanted a bed. So we've got like a little room going on here now, which is just below this, which is the bridge. We are going to obviously get in the bridge. I'm going to turn on the lights. We're going to have nav lights, interior lights, and well, we don't need the deck lights right now. We're going to set this to about 50, this to about 50 as well, and off we go. If you're wondering what we're doing, we're actually going to go ahead and get some oil. We're going to do an oil delivery. I want to see if I can make a little bit of money back. That's why I'm doing that. Oh, it looks like I did a boo-boo. I've painted without mirror mode on, so this side doesn't have a line, and this side does have a line. Well, I guess we can figure out which one we prefer, so with a line or without a line? What do you guys think? Slowly but surely, we are getting there with this thing. I do think it is looking pretty good now. I didn't like it to begin with, but we are getting there. Anyway, let's go ahead and park ourselves up. We gotta park sort of here-ish. I need to be able to get into the boat from up there. Have I been on this? I don't know if I've been up there yet. Oh, I started lagging. I don't know what happened there. I just remembered something that I am actually missing on my boat, and that is chaff. Chaff launchers are actually extremely important in this playthrough because, well, we can get hit by missiles at any point. There's nothing gonna stop a missile except chaff, pretty much. I could try and shoot it down, I suppose, with that, but I don't know, that'd be kind of tricky. Anyway, let's go ahead and connect onto here. We've got a hose already. Pump. Grab this one. We gotta jump over. Whee! There we go. And we gotta connect it onto the in pumps. Obviously, I have in pumps and out pumps now, so let's see. I didn't label them. That's good. Alright, so if I put that there and I do this, clearly it's the other side. Alright, there we go. Now see? Okay, clearly it's not the other side. Have I broke this? What's happening? You know, I think what I've done is, oh, I need to paint this too. I think I've actually done it slightly wrong. Okay, let's get back. We'll go ahead and do the chaff, and then we can sort it out. This is the good thing about actually testing your creations like this, without much danger, because realistically, there isn't actually any enemies nearby right now, so we're good to test it out. Okay, chaff has been added, sort of. We do need to go into all of these and actually turn them to be chaff, but that's fine. What I also need to do is... what was the other thing? I always forget. I always say to you guys what I need to do, and then I forget. Oh, this. Why aren't these guys even working? What? Oh, yeah, because they're not connected to the buttons. That is why. Alright, there you go. So we've solved some of our issues here. I can't remember which side's in and which side is out. So this side is in. Here we go. Cargo in. And then obviously cargo. Cargo. Oh, cargo out. Okay. Alright, that's sorted. We need to obviously sort these guys out, and then we can go do the actual oil thing again. Watchers, get over here now. Oh, I forgot to do the paint! That's what I forgot to do! Oh, yikes! Anyway, watchers, get over here now, and it just doesn't work again. It's a likely thing to happen, I'm not gonna lie. It's me, so I will forget things all the time. I'm actually going to go ahead and turn off the rear deck lights and the front, all the spotlights as well. This thing doesn't need all its lights on all the time. I am going to go ahead and throttle these back as well. I don't know what kind of temperatures we're getting out of this just yet either. I do want to stress test it, because it'd be good to stress test, just in case. Okay, here we go. Oh, never mind. Come on, swim, 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 and there we go. Right, so, this side is in, I believe. There we go, attach it on, bosh it, there we go! We're filling with oil. And I believe 23,000 is the maximum. I accidentally changed the name of it instead of the maximum, so, whatever. Okay, well, it's not going to take very long to fill, so I'm just going to go check if there's any crates. Bam! There we go, $8,500 right there. We found some money. And then we are gonna look over here. No. And I'm gonna go upstairs and obviously check there too. Sometimes I think they do actually have them on there as well. So we're gonna check that as well. Yeah, there's not one up there. Alright, cool. Well, we just gotta wait for it to fill up with oil then. There we go. 23,000 is a lot. There we go. Alright, cool. So that's just going to do whatever it wants for a little bit. That's okay. We are going to go ahead and travel out of here, though, because we need to go to the refinery to sell it. All right, set that up to 53-ish. That'll do. Maybe don't crash into the oil rig. That would have been really bad. And, yeah, well, we just got to go there. It has changed to nighttime, so maybe we do actually put the spotlights on this time. Oh, look at it. Yes. With the extra paint job on the side, I think it'll be alright. I do need to do something at the back as well. Possibly an AA, but I'm sort of thinking against it, but I don't know. You know, some bow thrusters and stuff like that would be good too, but I'm actually really happy that we now have chaff, because that could have been terrible. If we ever got, like, stranded and missiles came in, it would be a horrible situation, but we're in a good place right now. I'm just going to go ahead and sail forwards right here. This thing actually flops around in the water quite nicely. Yeah, I said flops around in the water as if this thing is a fish. But yeah, it actually sails alright. The thing is though, the temperature is quite high, and I'm not a great big fan of that. Not really. But I'm sure it'll be okay. I might actually turn this into like cool it with radiators instead of cooling it with seawater, because seawater's good and all, but radiators are pretty good. And you don't really have to do anything with them, you know? Anyway, let's go ahead and press the oil. There we go. We're gonna grab this dude. We're gonna jump down here. Cargo in. I need to go to the other side. There we go. Bosh that, and it is getting sold. Alright, I am actually gonna go ahead and attach multiple hoses to this. Get it sold really quick, and that'll be awesome. Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. I did this before where, well, it won't pump anymore. And I don't really know why. We have airflow now, so it should actually be fine, but as you can see, the button is on for cargo out, and it is not It is not cargo outing. Yes, we have free airflow through these guys right here. Maybe we need to actually increase the pressure inside. That would be fine. I don't know. Anyway, let's go ahead and get out of here. We're just going to go ahead and take the oil that we have back home, and I'm sure that's fine. We're then going to go ahead and paint this thing because, well, it needs painting. So we'll do that. But yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Whack it in reverse. Get us off the wall if we can. There we go. And reverse out of here. Yeah, we're then going to paint this little bit on the front all the way around the side, and we're also going to paint the wall that is right there because it needs painting. Okay. I don't actually know how I feel about this line anyway, but we're just going to go ahead and zoom it across the side because we can, and that will be good. Here we go, zoom it down, including all of these pieces. There we go, zoom it to the next one. There we go, all the way across there. I hope I didn't paint any of that. I don't think I did. Zoom it all the way across here, all the way across to the back, and that's all good. Let's do these guys. Where's this piece gone? I didn't realize we were missing a whole bit of our boat there. Alright, put that bit back. There we go. Zoom that across there. We're all good. This piece, and 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 this piece. There we go. Alright, very nice. We've now painted all of that. The other thing that needs painting is this guy. There we go. I'm gonna... Whoa, accidentally tabbed out of the game. Gonna go ahead and paint these bits right here as well. There we go. And that guy right there. Good. So, I was just having a little wander around and trying to think of things that we need to do to progress the series. So, if we have a little look right here, you can see that we have 100 coal, we have 0 uranium ingots, we have diesel, we have jet fuel, and we don't have any solid propellants. So, I was thinking maybe we actually need to build ourselves some sort of miner that we can take over to the Donk coal mines to mine some coal, to then take back here, and then we can build an actual steamboat. I think that'd be really cool. Obviously, there is ways of building a steamboat using diesel, which is the diesel furnace, but I've not actually messed with that very much. In fact, maybe that's something we mess around with as well. Something else I wanted to do as well is actually destroy an enemy ship or helicopter or whatever today, and unfortunately I don't think that's going to happen because, well, they're all actually really far away. But if they do get closer, that is probably what we're going to end up doing. You know, we did have a bit of a problem with this earlier, didn't we? Because, well, we couldn't pump out anymore. I'm not sure what the limit on the pump actually was. I don't know what the limitation was, but I'm sure it was something. So we're just going to go ahead and put some pumps in here. And I think we're going to use them to actually pump air into the tank whenever we're trying to empty it, meaning that the pressure inside the tank will rise, meaning that we can then actually empty out the tank of diesel or oil or whatever. So let's go ahead and try that again, actually. Okay, cargo in, yes! I still need to change that thingamabobby right there, but that's okay. So, the oil goes in completely fine using pumps. Obviously, we got a pump underneath here. This thing is actually filling up relatively fast. That's pretty good. Just in case the pumps on the other side fail, I've actually done some without any pumps, and also I've put a button in here so that if we need to increase the pressure, well, we just go ahead and push this and we totally can increase the pressure. So, I don't know. We'll see how this goes, I guess. Also, we're only going to go up to 20,000, so let's go ahead and stop pumping in 3, 2, 1, bam! Oh, close. Alright, let's go, go, go. Hopefully we can sell this without any problems. Although I do seem to... Well, I'm imagining there's going to be problems. Anyway, let's go ahead and zoom, zoom, zoom. There we go. And head over to the refinery straight away. Oh, yeah. Alright, we're going to go straight there. So, yeah, I would imagine there is actually going to be some problems, but I just don't know. It's always nighttime where we are. It's always nighttime. All right, pump out. Is that this side? Cargo out. Bam! There we go. I mean, it's doing it. It is doing it. Let's go ahead and increase the pressure all the way up to 10, because apparently that helps. All right, so we're increasing the pressure. It's pumping out. Things are working. They're doing things. All right, very good. Very good. We're already 1,000 down. Excellent. Keep this going. If I turn this off... Oh yeah, it lowers. It lowers quite a bit. Keep it pumping. Keep pumping. Alright, we've dropped by 2,000 already. Very nice. Alright, I should have put like a greater than on here so that once it gets to 10, it shuts off. Once it's below 10, it starts up again. That would make a lot of sense. It would. Alright, turn it off. It's gonna drop back down. It stopped selling. Switch to a different pump? What in the world? I don't understand. This one is actually stopped as well. What if I put it on there? What happens then? Oh, it is actually... It's working from this one without any pumps. That's weird. I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know why it's stopping like it is. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and attach all three on, and we're just going to keep pumping out as we go. Genuinely I don't understand the whole pumping out system anymore. It used to be very simple, but now it's just a lot less simple. Alright, there we go. It's still pumping. We're good. Alright, just keep it going. Well, there we go. So, the pumps don't work. They don't actually do anything, so I'm very happy that I added these guys that allowed me to fully empty my actual cargo tank for once. That's crazy. Not that we made very much money from that, because, well, we sort of didn't. In that time, has any of the enemies got any closer? The answer is no, I think. I don't think there are any enemies nearby. That is a small vessel right there. This right here is a submarine. Oh, I don't know. We could go over there. But what I think we do is we actually start working on some sort of mining vehicle. Because, realistically, we do need to do some mining. Although, I do say that. We don't actually have... We don't have, like, a proper land hangar thingamabobby. And we do sort of need one. I'm thinking like a bigger vehicle than we can build in the train place. Yeah, so I don't know what we're going to do about that. But anyway, we're down to 60 litres of oil. We'll finish off the selling of the last few bits, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so now that it's empty then, let's go ahead and disconnect this, chuck it in there, disconnect this, chuck it in there, and disconnect this. And, well, chuck it in there, because we're going to leave them all here. I'm also going to turn it off, and I'm going to turn this one off as well, because, well, because I can. So there we go. Good. Now all we need to do is jump down here, get inside, go upstairs, get inside the bridge. There we go. Close this, turn the engines on, which are going to rev like crazy, and then reverse. Go, go, go! Heck yeah! Reversing at the speed of light. Beautiful. Alright, don't tip over. That would be bad. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and return ourselves back to our base, which is just over here. And then I actually have something that I do want to do. Okay, so you might be thinking, well, what are you going to do? Well, I'm actually going to go ahead and start a brand new vehicle, and we're going to build a tiny boat. And when I say tiny boat, I actually genuinely mean it. I want something actually really, really small. So we're just going to go ahead and build this up. I'm going to go ahead and whack one of these right here. We are going to go ahead and do this across the top. We're going to do this across the bottom, but the other way around, obviously. There we go. And we're going to seal it up at the back. So one of those guys goes there. And, well, we're just going to go ahead and do this. All right. What do we do from there? Well, we need to get ourselves a prop. So the prop is going to go right here like this. That is pretty good. We are going to shove an exhaust above the prop. Not actually going to be used for anything, so don't worry about that. And then we need to get ourselves all the extra bits. So, on both sides, let's go ahead and do this. There we go. That means we're going to do that and that across the front. Okay, excellent. This isn't quite what I actually wanted to do, to be honest, but... You know what, actually, no. No. None of that. Let's go straight in with these guys. Yes, there we go. So those guys are going to go on there. We're going to go ahead and do this across the back. We're going to do that across there. This piece is going to be interesting. So that goes on there like that. That goes on there like that. We're going to go ahead and zoom these guys across here like so. 1 and 2. And then we just got to seal up the back end the way we've done the front end. And that should be it. Alright, so whack those on there, shove this guy onto here, and then one of these guys right here like this. Excellent. That's our boat. Although I do think the front end could do with a little bit of work, because it's not, well, it's too pointy. That's literally what I'm gonna say. Yeah, it was too pointy. Shove that guy onto there, although use a rope anchor, because it's gonna be kind of important that we use a rope anchor. There we go. Okay, so far so good. Now we need to get ourselves some actual rope. Yes, that is correct. And we need to get ourselves a little bit of a seat. That is also correct. And I'm gonna use this. No, you know what? Actually, we might as well use this. There we go. We are going to need a rudder of sorts. So let's go ahead and attach a rudder on as well. Which is just going to be a control surface. Here we go. And essentially, I want to attach that onto there. So let's do this. There we go. Control surfaces. Attach those both onto here. We're going to do it both the same. 1 and 2. And attach those guys onto A and D. Bam, bam. Okay. So far, so good. We need some stability control thingamabobbies as well, so we're going to shove those on there. On both sides, obviously, so there and there. We're then going to need to get ourselves, well, a crank. Yes, a gearbox and a crank. I think it's 6 gearboxes, so 1, 2, probably the other way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, 6 gearboxes. Delete this guy right here. Get ourselves a pipe, of course. Chuck that directly onto there. Get ourselves a straight pipe. Angle that out to the sides, just like so. Bring it backwards, just like this. Get ourselves some cranks. And I'm assuming that will all work out fine. I'm also going to get a battery, and we are going to chuck it on the bottom, kind of like this. Okay, hopefully, hopefully this works. We don't actually need to provide electricity to those guys. The only thing that needs electricity is the rudders, and that should be good. Okay, is this gonna work? Who knows? 3 to 1, 3 to 1, 3 to 1. I've never actually done this before, so if it doesn't work, we can obviously modify it. But 3 to 1, 3 to 1, 3 to 1, 3 to 1. Excellent. These guys are gonna be fine. Yeah, that's it. I guess I could put a dial on here so we can see what kind of speeds we get. And a dial for the battery as well would be quite nice. So let's have this one for speed. And on the other side, we can have this one for battery. There we go. Alright, very nice. Let's get ourselves a speedo real quick as well. Linear speed sensor. Chuck that guy right there. Attach this guy up to here. This guy down to the battery. We're good to go. Okay, sort of the problem that I thought we might have is that it doesn't really float, but it floats enough, and that's all that matters. If we do get attacked, that might cause issues, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, what speed have we got so far? 7, 8, 9? Alright, we are motoring along. We can obviously control this with A and D. So let's go. Let's get to our destination. What's our battery like? It's full. Okay, yes! Right, so, we're going a bit fast for what we need, but that's okay. Lighthouse OB is just there. We essentially need to head to Lighthouse OB, and then head north. So, yeah, I'll get there eventually. I don't know why I decided to add an exhaust there. I sort of just needed something that allowed us to not fall into the propeller quite as easily, and, well, I seen the exhaust, so that's why that's there. Anyway, Lighthouse OB is just there, and this right here is another island. And you might be thinking, well, why are you sailing to that island? And the main reason I'm sailing to this island is because I needed a small boat that I could put in a workbench that is quite small, because we're going to be building a helicopter, and a little helicopter at that, I think. Okay, well, here it is. In case you were wondering what island it is actually the helicopter base. So I figured, instead of building a water-based helicopter, which is actually a very useful thing, I've decided to, well, build a land-based helicopter, because it's rare that I actually do that. Anyway, let's try and pull this up. I don't know if I'll be able to do this. I should have maybe added handles rather than a rope. But it is what it is. Anyway, it's working. Yeah, we're just pulling it up. It's quite a light craft. What is that? Wait, what is that? It's so, at the time of recording, it is actually Halloween. So that could either be a shark or just a fish. I thought they did them for sharks only, but That's a lot of lights for it to just be sharks, I think. Yeah, I can't tell. I think that's fish. I hope they're fish anyway. Okay, there we go. So we've got it into position, which means once I purchase this island, which is only 10,000, well, we can actually return that to the workbench. Here we go. Bam! Returned it to the workbench. Excellent! The doors are closing on me. Let's not do that. I said let's not do that. Do I have to wait for them to... Yeah, you have to wait for them to fully close. Anyway, I just spent 10 grand on the island. How much are we going to get back? 7,500. Beautiful. There might actually be more here as well, so I'm going to have a look around. Oh, yeah, that's what we needed. Okay, so over there is another crate. I don't know if there's any other crate spawns on this island, actually. I've only really found them inside of there and over there on that bit of island. So I'm going to go over there and get that, actually. But before I do, I'm going to go to sleep to make it daytime again, because it is about to turn to nighttime. So let's go to sleep throughout the night. Daytime. Apparently some people died, and now I need to go rescue someone somewhere else. Okay, well, they're underwater. So they're dead. I can't do anything about that, unfortunately. Okay, so we get 7,500 from the crate in there, and 6,000 from this. So this island has technically cost me absolutely nothing, and given me some money. Haha, yes! That's just what you want. Okay, well, I guess it's time to start building some sort of helicopter, then. This feels weird. This feels very strange. Right, helicopter blades on. There we go. Let's go ahead and build around this and just try and make it kind of nice-ish. I like the idea of making it look like an oldish fashioned helicopter. So what I'm gonna do is have a bump. Yeah, that's right, we're gonna have a bump. So let's go forwards by like 3. For these back ones, we're gonna get a window and I'm gonna chuck it in there. So window goes here like this, I guess. We're then going to chuck another window on the front, and that's where the other bit is going to come from. So we go down by 3 and do this. We should be able to get ourselves a new window, one of these guys, and chuck it on there. Yeah? So far, so good, I guess. So far, so good, I guess. Maybe. We're then going to go ahead and angle this out forwards. Like a tiny bit, maybe just one of these, but that looks weird. Ugh. Maybe, and then, we're gonna go ahead and get more windows, these guys, and I'm gonna chuck like a little window on the front. So one of those, one of these, there we go, one of those, like that, and then delete that guy, delete this guy, so we can see, and then we're gonna build it all back together on the bottom. So probably one of those. There we go. Alright, bring this back. That looks pretty sick so far, I'm not gonna lie. I actually quite like whatever I've got going on here. And then we need to angle it upwards from here just a little bit. So I'm gonna start with one of these, then I'm gonna do one of these, and then I'm just gonna bring it upwards with this, I think. Kind of like that. I mean, yeah, why not? That looks pretty awesome. In case you're wondering, I am actually basing this on a real-life helicopter. If you know what I'm basing it on, let me know in the comments down below. But anyway, we're going to extend this backwards a little bit. I'm going to have to extend this backwards a little bit. And that should be fine. I don't really know. Right, check that on there. There we go. Good. And then we're going to do something like this. Back over a little bit. Attach all those guys together. And maybe one of these. I don't know. That looks weird to me, but it might work. Okay, so one thing that I'm actually struggling with a little bit here is that, well, it's gonna be too skinny. It's gonna be far, far, far too skinny. Although maybe that could be like a selling point of it. Maybe it could actually be kind of fun to do that. Yeah, you know what? Yes, let's do it. Let's have a skinny, weird helicopter going on. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, actually. Yeah, no, I really don't know how to feel about it. What if I attach that onto there? Is that really strange? That is kind of strange. We could use these, and that actually makes things a heck of a lot easier. Yes, because then we can go to windows again, and I can start adding more windows on. Remember, this doesn't actually have to be sealed, so what we could do is... There's literally no point in there being a window right there because I can't see it, but that's fine. Anyway, what we could do is grab a diamond, this thing. It's almost correct. This one? I think this is actually correct. Oh, yeah, one of those. There we go. I mean, it's starting to look a bit weird, but it's fine. We move. Yeah, we do. All right, chuck those guys onto there. I think. And then chuck these guys onto here. I know it's a bit weird having it like that, but it's fine. We shove this dude on here. In fact, actually, maybe we can grab one of these and do this. And then attach that guy onto there. Oh, it's so weird so far. Okay, what do we think of that so far? I feel like it looks pretty weird, but it could work. What I want to do next is delete this guy and this guy. I want to attach these guys onto there. We're going to drop this down by 2. We're going to drop this down as well. And, well, we're going to go ahead and start adding some pipes. I don't add wheels to this one. I want to use actual pipes. So, let's go and attach that guy onto there. That guy onto there. We're going to zoom this backwards just like so, zoom it forwards as well, and I was going to attach these guys to the ends, but I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know, does that look weird? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but it does actually sit quite nicely, so far so good, I guess. Alright, if we're sitting inside, what can we see? Yeah, I feel like this will work, actually. Okay, so, what do I want to do next? Well, I need to actually add an engine into here somewhere, and obviously that's going to have to go... Well, it's going to actually have to go in the back, so somewhere back here we need to build an engine. Don't know how to feel about that. Anyway, attach that onto there. Where is the actual engine? There it is. So we're going to get ourselves a gearbox that is going to be mounted here. We're going to build the engine itself, probably going upwards. So let's type in engine really quickly. We're going to build this in here. We're going to have the clutch go onto there. Like that. I guess, because we are going to need a generator. Actually, no. Let's chuck this guy on here. We'll chuck the clutch directly onto the top of that. Wherever the clutch is again. There it is. On the bottom, we're obviously going to have this for the starters and stuff like that. And that should be good. So starters... Chuck those guys right there. Excellent. We're going to have an alternator, or actually 2 alternators, so one here and one here. And then obviously we have to build in the air, the exhaust, the fuel, and the coolant into this. Don't know how that's going to work, actually. Okay, a bit weird, but we now need to add a manifold. So let's go and attach... we could add 2. I don't know, 2 manifolds, pretty weird. Maybe that is a strange thing. Anyway, fuel is actually going to go on here like this. There we go. So fuel is going to be back here. Coolant is going to be done up here. But actually, because this bit isn't going to be used for actual lights, I'm going to add a radiator in the ceiling. Yeah, that's right. Radiator is going to go right there like that. We're going to attach it onto these 2. We're going to put a pump on here so that it actually pumps through, and maybe that'll be fine. Yeah. I don't know, actually, but we'll see. So, we'll go ahead and shove one of these guys right here. We'll then pipe it round, and hopefully that'll be good. Alright, zoom this, 1, 2, 3. Chuck this guy on there like that. Attach this guy onto here, like... Whoa. Like, no. Like this. There we go. And we'll actually zoom it around and attach that on as well. Although, actually, it needs to attach all the way up to there. So, delete this guy and this guy. We'll actually zoom it backwards. Like this. There we go. Same on both sides. We'll go ahead and send these guys backwards like this. And we'll attach all of that together, just like so. Okay, yeah, that works, I think. You know, I actually think I want to raise this up a little bit as well. So we're going to add a pipe onto there. We're going to do it with a T-piece because, well, kind of need to. We'll delete this guy. We'll chuck that onto there like so. We'll get ourselves a propeller and we'll chuck that onto there too. Small propeller, there we go. And back here, we need to go ahead and pipe it. So let's go back to pipes. I actually kind of like the idea of having an actual visible pipe on here. Oh, that's kind of crazy. Maybe we'll do it for a little bit, but then we'll actually pipe it down. Yes. All right, good. Delete those into there. All right, that's quite a lot of pipage, but obviously we can do it. So knock that one down. There we go. We're then going to get an angled piece. We're going to send it this way. We're going to go ahead and zoom it backwards with this. And attach it all together. Here we go. Smack that on there, and that into there. And we're good to go. Okay, well, this is where we either survive or we die. It is highly possible that we do end up dying here. You know what, actually? No. We haven't added a clutch control, so that needs adding. That can actually go up with the throttle. I'm sure that's fine. Not the way around that I would actually like that to be, actually, but it is what it is. It is what it is. We're then going to go and give this some electricity. Everything else already has electricity. Alright, we might be good to go now. I don't actually think it looks too bad. I think it looks okay. Anyway, go ahead and do this. Alright, we got almost 500 fuel. Oh. Okay. We are getting pushed around a little bit, but it is actually working. Okay, it actually does sort of work. Gear this up a little bit, and then we should be good. Bam, 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 bam. Gear it up to 3 to 1. I don't know what kind of gearing we're gonna need, but it might be fine. Alright, here we go. This might also cause me to die. Just as a side note. Oh. Okay, right, it takes off now, but I need this to be, neutral. Otherwise, yes, we will just take off and fly away, and that would be bad. That'd be real bad. Okay, I think we're good now. I think we are actually good now. Obviously, we need to paint this. It also needs some armament, which I am well aware of. I do want to add armament to it. And we'll see. Alright, here we go. In the air we go. Alright, and then we can just fly it around. However we want. Oh, yeah! This is sick. This is actually super cool. Oh, we are wibbly wobbly a little bit, but that's okay. We can turn it around. And if we need to land, we totally can. Also, we do have a gyro, in case we need it to be kind of stable, which we sort of do sometimes. So that is totally working. What a beautiful helicopter. Alright, next thing then is we need to add the weapons. I actually genuinely don't know how I'm going to go about doing this, but I'm thinking we attach this guy onto here, 2 of those. We then go to rockets, and we add rockets on. Yeah. So, I kind of want it to be one in front of that, so like there. I will delete this afterwards, though. So that goes on there like that. We delete this piece. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think this is going to allow it to fly, to be honest, but that's a lot of weaponry. That is a heck of a lot of weaponry. Alright, shove that all the way across there. Do this one from here to the front. And then this one from here to the back. That is a lot of weapons. Alright, well anyway, let's put spacebar, wherever that is, onto this one. I think we'll fire 2 at once, that's fine. We then need the pass-through to go to this one. The pass-through of that one to go to that one. The pass-through of that one to go to the bottom one. Pass-through of the bottom one to go to the center one, and that's all good. So we need to do the same thing on this side. So pass-through, 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 and pass-through to there. There we go. Hopefully that'll work out then. I don't know. I don't know if it'll still be able to take off with this, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, rear end, I'm gonna try and paint all of this so it's all the same color as everything else. Same with the front, I guess. There we go. And then we need to paint the entire thing. What is the likelihood this thing will be able to take off? I think it's relatively low, but let's see. So, turn it on. Throttle it up to full. Does struggle to begin with, but don't worry about that too much. And lift off. Oh, yeah! Alright, press spacebar in 3, 2, 1. Oh, yes. Okay. We need to go destroy an enemy ship. I think that'd be so fun. What is this? A submarine? I mean, it'd be interesting. We do need chaff, though. Yeah, that is actually a very, very important thing here. Chaff. No. It's called a flare launcher. Yeah, if we didn't have chaff, we would just die straight away. So we're going to go ahead and add a bunch of this. There we go. And that's actually fine. Yeah, so we changed them all to chaff. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. And 4. And then obviously we got 4 on the other side as well. That should be enough, I think. There we go. Hold on. Whoa. There we go. And there we go. And then essentially we just do a bunch of pass-throughs on that. So it's going to be on 2. There we go. So we attach it to here first. Then to there. Then to there. Then to there. Then this one goes across to here. Then to here. Then to here. Then to here. And we are good to go. That's crazy. Also, I think I'm just going to change the color of the entire helicopter to be like this color. Because I think that'll be fun. I think that's good. Another thing that we're going to do is add some equipment. So we're gonna have to get a welder, a fire extinguisher, a lot of stuff actually. So fire extinguisher in first. A welder would be good. In fact, let's do it sideways. So a welder in first, right here. Then a fire extinguisher, and then a first aid kit. That's all I'm gonna carry on board, I think. Yeah, we might do a bunch more first aid kits in the floor, just in case we need them. Although, actually, delete one of those, and maybe one can be a defib. That would make sense, actually. Defib, shove that in there, make it red, we're good to go. Oh, yeah! This thing could do with lights as well. There's lots of different things that could be added to vehicles like this. So, lights are going to go underneath these. There we go. Nav lights would be kind of useful too, so let's shove some of those on. Here we go. We're actually going to do them in this color to begin with. That makes sense. And a rear nav light too. Bosh. Okay. I think we'll have them, like, literally be on all the time. Whenever the key is on. So, the key turns on. The nav lights turn on. That is all good. Yes. Alright. Electricity for all of the new equipment. The new lights. These new lights up here. All of these equipments. And that light at the back. Okay. Let's go ahead and paint them. And then we're going to go out on our first mission in our mini helicopter. And it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome, actually. Right, so get rid of that. There we go. Left is red. We do that. Right is green. We do this. That should be it. I forgot to actually add a button for the lights, but our little mini attack helicopter is ready for action. I didn't actually expect this to work quite so easily. Or look sort of as good as it does. I think this looks pretty cool. With a little bit of extra details, I think it would look really, really good. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and follow the train tracks along, because the enemy warship is at the other end of the train tracks. Hopefully, we are fuel efficient enough to get there. We totally are. Yes, our speed is 33, our altitude is changing, our battery is fine. We can actually see out this window down here, although there's a big window. Yep. And that's good. Alright. Okay, something that I didn't actually think about, and that we should really think about with all of our helicopters and anything with an engine in it, well, how big, well, actually, how cooled is our engine? That is the question. The only thing that I can actually sort of check, I don't want to fall out, is the coolant here. So, what is it? It's currently on 19. I mean, that's really, really cool, so far, so good, sort of. Although that's not indicative of how hot the engine is, just how hot the coolant is. Also, whilst we're on our way over here, I wanted to ask you guys a question. What do you guys think about mining? Shall we do a coal mining vehicle, and then maybe like a truck, and also maybe like some transport trailers for a train? We can actually do all of that. Obviously, it doesn't really involve very much militaristic stuff, but eventually we can make like big steamships or whatever. I think that'd be really cool. I actually think that'd be really, really cool. We need to head out there. We do. We need to head this way. That's kind of scary, though, because... Well, I don't have... Oh, it's actually kind of north. I don't have an autopilot. And obviously the waypoints don't quite work right, so... Yeah, it's just scary. It's very scary. I think I'm just gonna head out towards this little island that I can see out here, but I do need to be aware, and I am very much aware, that there could be missiles flying at me at any point, because it can actually launch missiles from underneath the ocean. Oh, it has actually... Okay, hopefully that works. Okay! Thank God we were looking in that direction. So, apparently, the sub is over here somewhere. Oh, it's getting foggy. This is going to be hard to spot, I think. This might be really hard to destroy. I don't currently see it. I don't currently see it at all. Yeah, this is going to be a challenge. Where is it? I need it to surface so that we can actually do something about it, I feel. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, another missile literally just tried to hit me. I didn't even see it get launched, but it ended up smacking into the water right here. I don't think hunting submarines is a great thing to do without any sort of sonar or any of that. So what we're gonna do... I was gonna head out to this island because I think this was over here before, but it's moved. Well, there's no point in us being here. We're sitting ducks and I can't see the sub. If it randomly fires off a missile and I don't see where it comes from, we're likely gonna die. Obviously, it was over that way last time, but I can't see it. That's scary. Wait, is that the sub literally right there? I think it is. Go, 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 go! Go, go, go! It's launched a missile. Okay, I've popped a flare, we're good. Alright, well, I can't really see where it's going, so... I hope this is working. Oh, it's underneath me now. Alright, we can see it. We can actually see the sub. Turn around. Turn around. Okay, I don't know if rockets actually penetrate the water very well. Here we go. Here we go, we've hit the sub. A little bit more. Obviously, it won't really surface. When we hit it, it will actually sink more, obviously. It's turning, I think? I can barely see what it... I can't actually see it. I'm just firing into the water here. It's gone. Oh, there it is. There it is. We can just see the propeller. I think I'm out of... Am I out of rockets? I fired all of my rockets. And it did not die. Alright, great. Oh, it's launched a missile. Oh my god, it just almost hit itself. Okay, I'm getting out of here. We did alright, we did hit it quite a bit, and it might actually die because of how damaged it is, but I need to get home, because I don't know how hot my engine is. I'm going to assume it's quite warm. So we're just going to go ahead and try and get out of here, and whilst we're on our way out of here, we're going to be on the chaff button just in case. But hopefully that submarine dies. Oh, it's launched another one. Okay, its missiles are crazy. I don't know if that's gonna hit me or not. That is acting wild, though. That is acting so wild. Enemy submarine has been destroyed. Okay, well, we're flying home anyway, so that's good. And 30 grand in the bank, too. Yes! Oh, wait, hang on. I was flying back to Terminal Komodo. That isn't actually where we need to be. We need to go to the helicopter base, which is, well, just here. So, let's head that way instead. Also, I'm going to try and see if I can spot any crates. Because if we do spot some crates down there, that would be lovely. That would be lovely. I don't see any crates. Never mind. Yeah, alright, cool. Well, you know what? The helicopter did its job. It actually did its job really, really well, too. We destroyed a submarine. We found the submarine and we destroyed the submarine. It would be nice to have some sort of sonar, or even radar, to be honest, because it was poking out of the water a little bit. Yeah, it would be nice to have either of those, but obviously, right now we don't. That's fine though. Also an autopilot, but again, there's sort of not very much room in here. I could put all of these on one dial, I suppose. We could use an instrument panel, but again, doesn't really matter. Anyway, we're going in for a landing, and that is awesome. Yes. All right, good job, everybody. We did it. We're going in. Oh, beautiful. Oh, beautiful. Woo! Anyway, for now, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video so far, and I hope you guys are enjoying the series, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.